Hey, Sean here from SpeedQiYi.com. Let's take a look at the Thunderclap version 2. Now right here, there's 4 different versions. There's the white, black, and primary, as well as the stickerless. The stickers on the white, black, and primary cubes are very similar to what we're seeing in a lot of cubes these days, where they're very contrasting, especially between the orange and the red. The stickerless is the same colors you'll see on the X-Men Tornado, but not the original Thunderclap, which is a nice upgrade, which is a good thing since a lot of people had issues with the green in the original one. As far as the weight of it, it's about 5 grams heavier, still on the lighter side, but not as light as the original one. The size is the exact same, about 56 millimeters. Now, as far as performance out of the box, it's very light and fast. It doesn't really feel exactly like the original Thunderclap. The pieces are quite similar. The edges are very similar in design, and the center caps are the exact same, and the corners look very similar, but they have the more squared off edge as well as the reinforced base, which is a big plus since there was problems in the original with that coming apart. As far as performance, it feels a bit lighter and scratchier than the original out of the box. I tensioned and lubed it, and it still felt kind of like that. So don't expect exactly a clone of the Thunderclap if you're getting this. If you have never had the Thunderclap, this is still a really nice cube. One thing I did notice was a little bit of catching on some inaccurate turning. So I did have to slow my turning down a little bit to help alleviate that, and in time it pretty much went away, whether that was from breaking in or me adjusting my turning style. Corner cutting is fantastic, and on certain tensions, it will easily cut from any direction. On reasonable tensions, it'll still cut over 45, and exactly what you'd expect from any newer cube nowadays. Now I did want to check one more thing, because I was curious at how it felt so much different compared to the original one when the pieces were so similar. And the big thing is the springs. The springs in the original one are a little bit tighter. Now I'm not a big fan of talking about spring changes in cubes during the review, but since this is a version 2 of the original one, I do want to note that the springs are different, and if you replace the springs of the version 2 with the original ones, it does feel much more similar, and I did that on the stickerless version to see what it was like. I definitely do like that feeling a bit more, but it's not necessary to make the cube work. It just might make it a little more enjoyable if you're used to that original Thunderclap feel and expecting that exact same thing out of the box. It's hard to compare this to other cubes, but it is very similar to what you might expect from the Yushao, where it's that very light and fast feeling, 56 millimeters, squared off corners, but because these corners do not have any holes in them, and the design is obviously a little bit different, it does feel a little bit more stable and less airy and swooshy. So thank you very much. Please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Hit like and subscribe for more content like this in the future, and as always, stop by SpeedQiYi.com for more news and reviews.